Hey guys, welcome back. It is the weekly Ask a Wiseman episode. For those who don't know, every Sunday I film basically a Q&A for me, for you guys, if you guys want to know anything about me personally, or just generically. You guys can always feel free to ask. I take the week's worth of questions from the week's worth of videos, and then I make a list, and then on Sundays I film this. And this week is going to be a little shorter than the previous weeks. There wasn't a whole lot of questions this week, mostly because I was getting back to work and everything, and most of the comments were geared towards that. But I do have 7 questions here from various users, and let's just jump right into it. The first question comes from BoxBreak101, and he asks, I think it's he or she, have I been to America? I have, many times. When I grew up here in Nova Scotia, we're actually very, very close to Maine. And sometimes me and my mother would get up on a Sunday or Saturday morning and be like, let's go for a drive. And sometimes we would drive down to the States and go shopping for the day or something like that. However, in the early 2000s, I can never remember the exact year, but my mother had to audit a call center down in Texas, in San Antonio. And she was going to be there for quite a long time. I think it was almost 6 months. And for that time, I was still in school, so I had to go to school, but I was able to go back and forth. And then I got out of school and I was able to spend, I think, a month and a half or something like that down there with her. It was a great time. I had a blast. I went to Six Flags, Texas. That was amazing. And it was also the same year that San Antonio won their first NBA championship, so I got to go see their parade. The parade was awesome. They have a river that runs in between San Antonio, and they had their parade on that river. And I think that day it was like 120 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that, something ridiculous. And everybody who showed up early all got heat stroke because they weren't able to see it. It was really funny. Me and my mom standing there watching these people just drop one by one. But yeah, I've been to America. I like the States, however, I prefer Canada, to be honest. People are a little nicer, a little more down to earth, and not so, I don't know. It's different living up here. People, mentality is a little different. So yeah, I have been to the States. Next question is from Shuh75, that's S-U-H-H 75. Sky, get away from the tripod. Get away from the Get! You're gonna knock my shit over. Sorry. This one's from Shuh75, and they asked me what my personal view of the end of the world is. That really depends on what you mean by the end of the world. Do you mean the end of our civilization or the end of the actual planet itself? If you're talking about the end of civilization, I think one of two things will happen. Either one, we will destroy ourselves through war or petty bickerness or whatever the hell it is that we call it. We'll either destroy ourselves with our own greed and weapons and all that sort of stuff, or we'll be destroyed by an outside source, like a meteorite or a black hole or some shit like that. Now, if you're talking in regards to the planet itself, it's already in the science that even if we do survive the next 1,000,000 years or something like that on Earth, and we are able to bypass the greenhouse gases and all the ice ages and all that sort of stuff and still survive, our planet will still be destroyed because our sun will go supernova and it'll be gone. So regardless of how human history goes, our Earth will cease to exist at some point in time, regardless of what we do. So that's my personal opinion on that. The next one comes from... Seriously, dude? Come on. Username Alcoholic Semen Thrower. Alright. The question was, my past 5 to 10 jobs. Now, I'm not going to actually answer this question, but I'm going to give you guys a general idea of the type of jobs I've had in the past. Past 5 to 10 jobs is actually a security question, so I'm not answering that one. but I can give you an idea of the type of jobs that I've had. I've worked in motor vehicle registries, vital statistics, office work. I've worked as a network administrator, working in call centers, doing computer tech support. Let's see, I've worked in offices, I've worked in kitchens, I've worked in CSR, sales, counter agents. I've worked in construction, I've worked in labor, fabrication, places, warehouses, I'm one of those jack of all trades type people. I've worked in almost every type of industry there is. It's generally why I'm pretty able to pick up on jobs really quickly. It's because I have such a wide experience range that I am able to take all that experience and put it in. Now in regards to my new job, and the reason I'm able to learn it so quickly is because it's a combination of a lot of the past kitchens I've worked in. So a lot of the food and a lot of meals that I'm making are actually stuff I've made before, so it wasn't really much of a learning curve to begin with. So that's all I'm going to answer on that one. Next one comes from 55 Andy B, regular commenter. What's going on? Yes, do I have a driver's license? This is kind of a tricky question. I did have a driver's license. Like I said, I used to work in motor vehicles, driver tester and all that sort of stuff. However, when I was in Toronto, I was on a blind date one night in my mom's car, and we found this back road that was just winding hills like that, right? So she was all excited and she told me to speed up, I wanted to impress her and everything, right? Speed limit was 50. I go over the last bump, nose of the car comes down, and what do I see but a police officer standing there with a radar gun at the bottom of the hill. Any guesses on how fast I was going? 100 over the speed limit. 150 kilometers per hour in a 50 zone. The only reason I didn't get charged with racing, like in Ontario with a racing charge, is because I still had an Alberta out-of-province license. And most of the provinces in this country, they don't take away your license if you're from another province. So I mean that saved me from getting the car impounded, me going to jail, and having to pay like a $6,000 to $8,000 fine or something like that. But instead I only got a $685 ticket. And since then I haven't driven a car. I've had opportunities, I've had chances, but I've gotten so used to taking the bus and being green and stuff like that that I have no motivation to go get my driver's license renewed. And of course I have a year or so to get it renewed before I have to start fresh, because I've had my license for 10 years already. So that's that. And the next one comes from Dreary Thromison. I hope I got that right. Sorry, dude. This is the guy from that Star Trek Online game. And he asked me about my new job. How do I learn the recipes so quickly? Well, like I just mentioned, a lot of the recipes at this restaurant are actually meals I've made in the past. Cooking steaks, burgers, pastas, stuff like that. It's all pretty much the same. There's little tweaks and seasonings and procedures and stuff like that, but generally the work is pretty much the same. It's the only reason I was able to pick up on this job so quickly is because I'm practically doing work I've already done before. And he asked another question, is how do I play with Sky so rough without being scratched? Actually, she gets me quite bad. You guys don't really see it because it usually takes a little while for it to dig in, catch scratches, they red up and they get itchy and stuff like that. Generally, at any point in time, you can see at least 20 different scratches on each hand. Because she goes to town. And she loves it, and it doesn't really hurt. I mean, sure, it gives me a scar here and there, but I mean, who the fuck cares, right? She enjoys it, and I enjoy playing with her, so she can scratch me all she wants. And the last question comes from DJ Roots. He's actually a long-time viewer and commenter, so thank you. And he asks, what will I buy with my first paycheck, since I'm getting all these hours? I'm actually not going to be buying anything. This first paycheck is mostly going to be paying off the rent I still owe, because EI decided to deduct some money from me that wasn't needed. So I was short on my rent, but I'm going to pay off the remaining of my rent, pay off the remaining of my internet bill, my cell phone, my rental insurance, and I also had to buy a whole bunch of groceries and stuff like that, and do my laundry. So my first paycheck is pretty much already paid and gone. But with the hours that I'm getting, I'm looking at probably $1,000 paycheck, which would be really nice. So that's it for the questions. In regards to how my day went today, pretty smoothly. They pretty much left me alone again today to do my thing, see if I can handle it, and I fucking rocked it. We even had there's a lady that comes in every week. She's one of the most, this is what they told me, she's one of the most pickiest eaters they've had. She never ever finishes her plate, and she always complains about her food. And when they gave me her order, it was for a beef tenderloin, and it was actually I hadn't made that dish yet, so it was my first time making it. And they told me, you know, you have to be careful with this lady because she will send it back. And I made the meal, and then I went out on a break, and when I came back in, everybody was waiting for me. I thought I fucked it up. I thought I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble here. But apparently she actually licked her plate clean. Literally licked her plate clean, and they all could not believe it. They thought I was like fucking God there for a few minutes. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And they're like, oh, good job, man, congratulations, you know, you impressed the unimpressible and all this. I'm like, was there any doubt? I mean, come on. So yeah, that made my day. That was really nice. And closing went smoothly. I didn't have a problem with anything like that. So, you know, I'm impressing them, and I'm stepping up to the plate. I just have to maintain it and keep moving forward. And I'm glad you guys are continuing to follow along with me for my little journey through life here. You know, right now things are getting a little bit better, but like always in my life, it never lasts. So all I can do is just keep moving forward, keep trucking forward, put my head down, and just work. And you know, and I have you guys to come along with me. I always enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy your support. I love it very much. And yeah, remember to leave questions down below if you want to ask me anything at all. Doesn't matter if it's personal or not. I'm pretty open when it comes to answering questions, so feel free to ask away. Of course, there are some things I won't answer, but you guys generally get the idea. And that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay strong, stay wise. I hope you guys had a good day. Peace out.